Hi, I'm Captain Pat. I'd like to welcome you to the Captain's Meetings. We're going to do something a little bit different today. The Skiff ClassicS and the Kayak Fishing ClassicS are both going to be running on June 24th. Similar fishing zones, some crossover, not a problem. So the Kayak Fishing ClassicS and the Skiff ClassicS are going to be fishing this coming Saturday on June 24th. Let's start with the Kayak Fishing ClassicS. The Kayak Fishing ClassicS, of course, that's the Indian River Classic. You guys that are in the kayaks are going to be fishing the Indian River and the Mosquito Lagoon. The weigh-in is at our good friends Goodrich Seafood in Oak Hill. So that area right out in front of Oak Hill, and then down into the Indian River. And if you wish to, you can cut through on the hull over and fish over there on the east side as well. So you have an immense area. You can launch wherever you wish to launch in that fishing zone, provided that you guys do so from a public launch, as always, and pursuant with our rules. The Skiff ClassicS are running the new Smyrna Beach Skiff Classic, and their zone is quite a bit different. They can launch anywhere from New Smyrna Beach area up there, and they can fish that waterway going southward into the Mosquito Lagoon, Indian River, etc. And they can also go through the hull over and fish over there. Kayakers, please don't worry. That is going to be a co-mingling and boats are going to interfere with you. The Skiff ClassicS boats are not going to bother you at all. They're very respectful. They see you in an area, they're not going to pull up in there. They may be in the general area, but they're going to be well off, and they're not going to cross your fishing, your bow if you're fishing towards the bow. They're not going to cross those areas. They've been instructed, so not to worry. And frankly, there's not that many of them to be a concern. If I was kayak fishing a tournament series, my concern would not be the Skiff ClassicS teams, it would be other anglers. The Skiff ClassicS teams are very polite and respectful to the kayaks, and they'll treat you the way they want to be treated, so there's no issue there. So let's talk some launch times here. The Kayak Fishing ClassicS, the kayaks can launch at first safe light. You can do so within your zone, anywhere in your zone that is publicly accessible. Pretty simple. So safe light launch, weigh-in is at Goodrich Seafood in Oak Hill at 2:30. Weigh-in closes at 2:30, meaning that you have to be signed in by 2:30. If you have issues in that area with your iAngler because of the cell phone tower connectivity, just give yourself a little time when you come into a better area, and then post your pictures up onto the iAngler tournament leaderboard. Mostly we have not had a lot of problems over there lately. When NASA is doing a lot of stuff, they put the cell phone block, which is supposed to be in a smaller area immediately around the Cape, but it is much broader for security purposes, understandably. So if you run into that, all you have to do, go ahead and take your entry pictures and send them. If they don't go through, don't worry about it. It's in your phone. It's keeping it forever. Not a problem. And then it's kept in the circuit, so when you get inshore or closer to shore, you can send it. If you get a problem and it just won't send, give yourself a little extra time. Come in and see myself, and I'll get it straightened out for you. If we need to, we'll call our IT guy at iAngler in Texas. He's always available for us during our tournaments, and Mike will take care of you right there. So don't freak out, don't panic. Just go with the flow of it and enjoy your day of fishing. The idea is to have a good time. On the skiffs, you guys are fishing for 2 reds and 2 trouts. Excuse me, you're fishing for 4 reds. The kayaks are fishing for 2 reds and 2 trouts. So on the skiff side, when you guys launch, and you'll see on the Skiff ClassicS website what time the launch is and all that, do your launch, and you can start your fishing. And once again, be mindful of the kayak guys. They'll probably come up on you before you come up on them, but on the course of the day, when you guys everyone starts moving around a little bit, just everybody be respectful to each other and don't go zipping in front of a kayak and too close. You know, stay well off from the kayaks and stay out of the areas as per our previous conversations. Just imagine yourself in a kayak and you're doing a tournament, and treat that kayak angler accordingly. Now, the skiffs are going to be fishing the 4 reds and within that zone, so that shouldn't be a problem. The fishing actually has been pretty good over there. The state has had an enormous amount of rain, and it continues, and it looks like we're developing into our afternoon summer pattern where around 3 or 4 o'clock we get the rain, and it usually lasts half hour, 40 minutes. That won't be a concern for us because everyone will be well off the water. If we do run into some rain during the tournament, put your rain gear on. If it gets stormy, particularly in small skiffs and kayaks, get off the water. If it's just raining and it's not lightning, act accordingly. You're all fairly experienced on that. If you see lightning, get off of the water, and that doesn't necessarily mean paddle all the way across the bay or boat all the way across a big body of water. Get off the water. You know, get ashore away from the water because you're a target out there in a big body of water, and all of you know that, so safety first. I don't think that that's going to be an issue, but we never know. We should have pretty good weather. We should be able to get the tournament in without any problem, but just be mindful, safety first. Be sure that all of you have the Kayak Fishing ClassicS and the Skiff ClassicS phone numbers under the appropriate name in your cell phones that you take your photos with. In the event that it gets bad or there's weather incident or some kind of change is happening, we're going to text you, so turn your notifications up on your phone so that you hear it. We want everybody to check in, of course, after the tournament. So come to weigh in, show that that's a courtesy to Goodyear. They extend their hospitality and give us a nice place to hold our weigh-in. So we'll have a joint weigh-in, which should be a lot of fun, and a lot of you guys in kayaks will be able to meet the guys in the boats and vice versa. There are some crossover anglers in this particular tournament. There are not any that we're going to fish as to the original schedule, which was Saturday kayak, Sunday skiff, and no one was doing that, and we had some issues here, some family issues here, that Sunday is just out, so we combined it. It's a small field of the skiffs for this particular tournament, so we just combined them and everything should go well. So come on in, sign in. If you have a problem, alert me after you sign in, and then we'll get it straightened out. Get yourself a beverage of your choice. Get yourself something to eat. If you've not eaten at Goodrich, they have excellent food, very good food, very good prices. And just get to know each other and chit-chat a little bit. The reason we started the Skiff ClassicS, a lot of the guys in the kayaks are migrating or crossing over into small skiffs with small horsepower, and they can pretty much go the same places that you can with the kayak, which is kind of an unusual thing for a boat, but some of the skiffs are quite small and can do that. On bigger flats boat, it's close, but not so much as a kayak. There's a limitation on the skiffs of 70 horsepower, so you kayak anglers aren't going to be around big giant boats, so that, at least not from the Skiff ClassicS. So as some of the guys are getting older and going, boy, I just can't paddle that distance, my shoulders ate up, or I just can't paddle, and my knees are hurting, whatever, I'm just getting too old, whatever. The problem is, life happens, so they're migrating into the skiffs. It extends your range in fishing greatly. The guys in kayaks with the pedals, and the Hobies and the Natives and the various brands that now offer pedals, they've extended their range, plus they can fish just about the whole time that they're pedaling along if they wish to, so they're covering more water and presenting their bait to more fish and creating more opportunities to score points for themselves. So all in all together, it's a very good combination. Now we'll see how this goes. It shouldn't be a problem. We had an issue getting the host up in New Smyrna, and we decided, well, we want to bring it down, just bring it into Goodrich, but Goodrich had plans for Sunday. So combined with some family issue and that issue with the host, we decided just go ahead and put all of it together. It should go real well. We're going to take a look on the big screen here in a moment, and I'm going to show you the zones appropriately, and then that will pretty much conclude the captain's meeting. I'll come back and go over a couple of more things. So we're going to flip over into Studio B, and we'll show you what we've got going on there for the zone map. Thank you. Okay, we are back. We are on the screen here, and I hope you guys can see all of this just right for us. Right up in this area, excuse my finger, right in here, that's New Smyrna Beach, and the skiff guys can launch up there and fish from that point southward in the Indian River, which goes south-south-south. So I'm going to move this around. That part's not for the kayakers, that's strictly for the skiffs. So as we come down this waterway, which is about 12 miles, some of the skiffs can run that if they want to fish up in New Smyrna and then come back down into that area. Then you'll come down into Mosquito Lagoon area. Now make sure that you guys can see this. I believe that you can. That area is also open for the kayaks as well as the skiffs, and you guys can fish in that and all throughout that region. Pardon me. Then as we go up, you're in the Mosquito Lagoon through here, and over in that area is Indian River Lagoon. Now I'll show you the hullover. Okay, and this hullover area right through here, you guys can go through that and fish over in the Indian River Lagoon. So it's a huge area. Let me shrink this down a little bit. And then you're fishing just a gigantic area, because the Indian River is quite long. The Banana River, which is this area right here, we're not fishing that. So no banana, no bananas for anybody. So that covers the zone, and it's just a huge, monstrous zone that everybody can fish in, and so you guys should be able to get very productive. So we're going to go back. I don't think that we could get any clearer about that. Oak Hill. Everybody knows where Goodrich is. It's on our websites also, so if you're not familiar with it, just Google it. The address is there, and just GPS yourself in. So I'm going to go and get back into Studio A, and then we'll conclude the captain's meeting. Okay, welcome back. I hope that was a little bit helpful to you guys. That's the first time we tried doing that. And we could really zoom it in and get very specific about that, but you probably serve yourself better by doing it yourselves on Google, on your devices. I know you guys all do that. It's a smart move. But I wanted to give new timers a feel for the general area. It is immense. Now, you have to check in with your launch photo. So one, we know you're on the water. So when you guys are launching your kayaks or your boats, put your tape measure board on the deck or wherever near the water. You know, get your kayak in the water or on the shore. Same with your skiff. Put your token on it, take a picture, and log it as a non-catch, non-species, no catch. The terminology, there's a variety of terminology in iAngler that means it's not a fish. And do not score inches. Leave the inches at 0 or put 0 in there. Do not score an inch, because that messes us up. That way we know you're on the water, and we know that you're shaking hands with iAngler, who's shaking hands with our computer systems, and everything is working and you're being scored correctly. When you come in, of course, you're going to sign in. We're going to know that you're off the water. If you don't come to weigh in, we're not going to know that you're off the water. So to come in, it's a courtesy to the host as well, and also your fellow anglers, and get to know some people as well. So don't forget to do your launch photos, you guys, and send that, log it in iAngler, just like you were doing a fish, but it's not a fish. It's no fish. It's a non-catch. You guys be safe. If you have any questions, give me a text. It's the best way to get a hold of me. Just close to a tournament, and I'll see everybody on Saturday. Be safe. Wear your life jackets. Good fishing.